I'm gonna go smash Drake.
Why Drake?
Just because I think that he's sexy and I like his music. Yeah.
Nothing more, nothing less.
Nothing more, nothing less. He looks good and his music is fire. Like he's an idol.
Now, have you ever thought that because someone was good at one thing that you carry that over to everything that they do? Now, this is the perfect example of the halo effect. Now, I'm not talking about the famous video game on Xbox, a different halo. Think like an angel. See how the halo flows around and shines down across the whole person or the angel? This is what we do in the halo effect. We give attributes to a person based off of one good thing about them, so we assume that everything about them must be good, positive, and great. Now, shouts out to Charles in Charge because I got this clip from his channel and he has some great stuff over there. But when I saw it, I was like, I got the perfect thing to talk about on this.
Really, let's think about this. Just because this man makes songs that she likes and the status that he holds as a celebrity, that's enough for her to feel completely comfortable and say that she would sleep with that man.
So you see in the example, she gets an opportunity to say, hey, if she was to cheat on someone, it would be with Drake.
Drake? Drake?
And now we all know Drake as a great rapper, a great singer. He's made hundreds of hits that most people know, even if you're not a fan of his. But she said she thinks because he's a great musician, probably be a great partner romantically. And honestly, you can't really make these assessments. Now, cognitive biases are meant to keep us straight to the point so we don't have to do too much thinking in a given situation. We evolved for these to help us make decisions. But now that the world's much simpler and easier to live in, we use them and they could deter us. So using this example, you think that, oh, because he's a great singer, makes great music, he'll treat you right, he'll be a great lover, he'll do you, get what I'm saying, need to do. And this may not be the case. And this is not just for romantic examples, but think about in your everyday life. Is a person that's attractive automatically going to be smart? But a lot of times polls have shown that they rate attractiveness in line with intelligence or leadership. That's why typically they say more attractive people are better leaders. You look at CEOs or people who run teams, or if you look in class, the person who's most popular. Think about all this. When you voted for your class president in 8th grade, was it because they really had any stances, or you thought they were the cool kid, they were good at sports, or everyone liked them? You just assume, hey, you can do that, you can do this. Now, this could be a deterrent. Now, going back to the example with Drake. Now, this is something also we see in relationships, and shouts out to Dr. Tai Tashiro in his books, like The Science of Happily Ever After. We talk about something like novelty seeking. So along with the halo effect, using that bias to think that because someone's good at one thing, that'll make them great overall. But novelty seeking, this lady said, oh, you can do this for me, do that. Well, that's because she's seeking new experience. Look at the word novel. Novel means new, different. Now, in relationships, the ones that typically last is people who are lower on novelty seeking. You can see how this correlates because a person who wants to cheat or step out, they're gonna typically want to do something that isn't everyday and it isn't typical. Enter being a famous superstar, multi-platinum selling artist. Now, that's an extreme case, but you can look how this works on even a lower level. So that's typically if you want a long-lasting relationship, you want the partner to be low on that. Now, does this mean that you can't do new things, new experiences? Because a person who always has to be on the scene or going somewhere, guess what? That gets old and eventually it fizzles out. But the person who's like, okay, I'm fine with that, we should change up, and that's great. But it's not what they need. It's something that just is good to have, but the person themselves is what fulfills them. Now, someone who's better on that side of things is going to be a longer lasting relationship. So this little clip, it really speaks volumes on human behavior. That's why I love watching channels like this. So make sure you go follow Charles in Charge and obviously like, subscribe, and comment on this video, because there's always something we can find in psychology and everything as we break it down.